Hi everyone, Alex here at Apollo. Today I'll show you how to change your stem on the Apollo Phantom 2.0 Stellar Edition. But it's the same process for the 52 volt version as well. So the first step is going to be removing the handlebar assembly using a 3mm Allen key. So next step is going to be loosening the nut on the brake cables using an 8mm wrench. So one important thing is after removing the cable, make sure not to press on the brake handles, or else mineral oil is going to come out and air is going to go inside the system and you're going to need to bleed it. Now you just have to remove the handlebar assembly, disconnect all the wires, and you can take it out. After disconnecting the COM cable, make sure to disconnect the stem light as well. You need to remove the rubber covers as well. Next step is going to be opening up the stem and removing the cables from inside. If you're having trouble removing the brake cable, it might be easier taking out the COM cable first. So you're going to unscrew this part. Once it's undone, you can push the COM cable this way, since the bigger part of it will not fit through this hole. If you remove the COM cable first, you're going to have way more space to remove the brake cables after. Next step is going to be to loosen up the stem nut using a 24mm wrench. After removing the stem nut, you can move on to loosen up both of these bolts over here. Using a 6mm Allen key, you can start by loosening up the top one. After removing those two bolts, you're going to move on to the step of removing the stem. To make it easier, we got a little trick. You're going to take a flathead screwdriver, stick it in the opening, and just hammer it in place. This is going to open up the whole thing and make it easier to take it off. Using a rubber mallet, you're going to hit under the stem. As you can see, using the screwdriver, it comes out really easily. After that, you can just take off the stem and you're done.
So now you need to make sure that this pin is installed, and this is to ensure the alignment between the direction tube and the stem. So it's going here in the groove on the direction tube, and there's a groove inside the stem. So I'll try to put it like this on it and align it with the groove on the stem, like this. And the stem is always super difficult to put in place, so we're going to take a flathead screwdriver, jam it in this opening to make it bigger, and then it's going to go right in. So now that the screwdriver is in, middle shaft I mentioned, a keyway, and you can see the motor shaft, the little thing being right there, and you can see it goes right in because this is prying it open. This is the proper way to install the stem, and you can see it's locked in place because of the keyway. Now I remove this, and that's it. So I have my COM cable here. I will pass it from the top down because this big part doesn't fit in the stem. So I'm gonna push it down the stem like this. I do it before putting it the brake line so it slides right in. There's nothing blocking it. So now my COM cable is passed, but before connecting it, I need to put my big nut here. So I'm gonna pass it through the brake lines. Up. I'm gonna pass the COM cable as well. Everything is tight, but it does fit. And those are Welch washer, and they allow to keep this nut tight at all time. On some unit we did remove it because the Loctite is more than enough, as you saw earlier in this video. I'm gonna tighten this, and I'm gonna use the tool to, and because this is still disconnected, it's now that I need to tighten it. I'm gonna pass this. So now I'm simply gonna tighten it, and again, there's no need to hold the stem in place. I'm gonna utilize the stopper of the direction to do so. This one, you just do it as hard as you can. Okay. So now we're gonna put the 2 screws on the folding mechanism here. So I'm gonna be the head on the big opening here. All right, I'm gonna do the other one. Again, I start slow. I know I'm not stripping anything. Look at this. And this you should put red Loctite. Now we're gonna connect it like this. You align all the pin. There's a little keyway. Connect it like this. You twist it as hard as you can. And we recommend putting a shrink wrap over this to hold everything close. This is a demo unit. We keep taking it apart and everything, so we're not gonna do it. Now I'm gonna put this. Then I'm gonna put the brake cables. Like this. And the brake cable, usually it's easier. You just push it enough to see it there, and you catch it with a little Allen key. Like this. That's one. And you need to be sure that this is the correct one going there. You know, this is the front side because it's going on this side and it's gonna go connect to the right side of the handlebar. So we know this one is the front, like this. And you pull on both of them. All right, once this is done, you want to go ahead and connect your stem light. I recommend unfolding the stem, so it's gonna give you more, like a longer length of wire here. And you're gonna go ahead and connect the stem LED, which is this one, coming from the stem LED. And you're gonna connect it, the only place it can go, on this wire here. And this, you can shove it down. You're not gonna need it again, and you don't want it to be in the way. So then you're left with your headlight wire and your communication cable wire. You're gonna take the headset and those 2 cables out, and we're gonna connect again the headlight first. You have little arrows on the connector if you're not sure, like this, and then the communication cable like this. And this is important, you know, in the early units those cables were a bit long. You need to do this motion with it. You flip it like this, so you know it's a cute little nest of wire like this, and you put it inside the headset like this. You know, look at this, it's not sticking out, right? As much as you can. And then you put it down the stem like this. So you can see there's no pressure on the headset. All the holes align. That's what you want. You know that nothing is getting pinched.
Last part is going to be putting back the brake cable inside. You just push it all the way in and then screw this part back on using the 8mm key. And don't forget to do the same thing for the other side. So the last step is going to be putting back the 6 screws in and screwing them back in. So this was how to change your stem on the Apollo Phantom 2.0 Stellar Edition and the regular 52 volt. If you have any question, ask us down in the comments, and thank you for watching.